Evansville, Indiana, and they've been sitting up a tree, 40 feet in the air, but, it's hitting the fan, they're getting arrested, and...
We're not allowed to sit in the tree, we're not allowed to climb on the tree, and we don't want to, actually, because...
It's dying.
Well, she's a beautiful, healthy old tree, and we don't want to damage her. I mean, and I'm speaking
I thought it's not, why is it a her?
Because that's how Lady Passion refers to this tree. I mean, it's this very female entity to her, and so... Anyways, it's a wonderful tree, and actually Chief Bill Hogan came over, and he sat with us for a little while, and he said, I promise we're not going to arrest you, we're not going to pepper spray you, we're not going to taser you. And then he thought that the tree looked like breasts. That was interesting. And then he told us that we were allowed to be bare-breasted, because that's actually
Who said that?
Chief Bill Hogan.
Oh, was he egging you on?
No, I think...
Oh, I'm sure he was totally serious.
No, it's true.
He was, you're allowed to, females are allowed to be bare-breasted legally in Asheville. It's not legal to be bare-breasted. So he's like, if you guys want to take off your shirts and, enjoy being under the tree and all your female glory, feel free to.
Yeah, you might have a lot more people come by.
Yeah, for the rally, that would be a good thing.
A good thing
A
to get.
bare-breasted rally. We could all be bare-breasted.
There we go.
We need more sexuality and eroticism in this country.
We do.
We can
We
just
don't
have a
need more of the
totally
crap
topless
that
rally.
we-
Everybody
the
can be
licentious,
topless for the rally.
Yeah.
Crazy crap.
Yeah.
We could
You
use
remember
some,
the naked man here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Back in
The-
98,
some nice-
97.
The mud people, or the make it,
Yeah,
make
The
it.
naked
I
guy.
agree.
He was an ex-police officer, 20-something, really handsome young man, and he was renting himself out for a stripper at private parties. And the city said it was illegal, that was some form of prostitution. But he found out that it was not illegal to walk around downtown Asheville with the G-string. And so
I remember that guy.
Yeah, and so you see him rocking around with a G-string on, and sometimes he'd have slogans painted on his body, and
That's
sometimes
right.
he'd just be laying out in the sun in front of the courthouse.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I think he's gone back
I
to
do.
California or something.
He's
That's
what
fine.
got
I went
Asheville.
back to California.
I hear he
Go
finally
back
got
to San
busted.
Francisco.
I hear they finally busted him for something.
Really? I did hear that he left, and then maybe he just.
He left and came back, and somebody told me recently.
Probably got a job in
city
the
council.
I think he
computer
did
store.
run.
He's getting ready to run for mayor or something somewhere
Somewhere
else now, I think. Like
Just-
in the
that's what he
Rockies or
does.
somewhere.
He just goes from town to town in a G-string, running for political offices, and
he's
heading on to the next
He
town.
was a
Then
nice, he was a
running for the
nice
county
fella.
line.
He was a nice fella. I liked
yeah.
him.
That's who got us in the Rolling Stone, is the free capital
That's right.
of the U.S. So
What is?
supposedly Asheville once upon a time was the free capital. Now we're the happiest place in America.
Happy. Listen, I'm dying to see the photographs. The whole.
They're coming. I've started the post-production editing process. After I took almost 350 portraits, and I'd been working 75 hours a week for 18 weeks straight, I kind of had to take a break and kind of just set them.
I understand.
Yeah, I was just like, I just kind of got to get my inspiration back for a little bit. So, but now.
Plus,
I'm in
there's the
post-production.
expense of printing that many.
Yeah, that's why we just had a fundraiser last weekend, a benefit fundraiser at Rosetta's, and I raised, just over $1,000.
But at least everything can be done digitally, so when you print it, I'm used to in the darkroom, and you have to do
know, me
multiple
too.
prints,
Yeah.
But with digital, at least you can get it all done, and when you print
one
it,
print, and there you go. But it's like $5 a print, and then framing everything. It's gonna cost somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000 to get this off the ground.
oh,
so.
let me see. Maybe you can get printing paper cheaper than.
I'm gonna try and get Iris to maybe be a sponsor for me, a local sponsor. Everything in this project is locally sponsored.
Is it printed with an archival grade ink?
That's what we're gonna try and do, because it's gonna be donated.
Well,
I don't know.
you could just put it out real cheaply, and put it out better when you had the money to do it.
Well,
It's
'cause
best to do it right. when
right
you
the
do
first
it.
time,
Yeah.
as far as time and money and the overall.
Believe me.
Yeah, and
do
then
it right.
because then afterwards it's going to be gifted to the city. It's going to be given as just a giant documentary gift. But actually, it's kind of cool. The next phase is we're going to have 6. I think is what we're looking at 6 community forums at the Green Life Community Center, and they'll be potluck, so you can bring food and share food and whatnot.
But once it has run its tour, and it gets gifted to the city, then it will be posted in its entirety.
We're going to try and put a book together. There's
Or
these,
not? Will it be posted?
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna see it. It's gonna go up in June of '09. Like there's gonna be a huge party. Like every single person who got their picture taken is gonna be invited to come be a part of this. And then it's gonna, that'll be for the first hour or so. and then it'll be open.
I
to the
didn't send.
public.
I didn't send you the stuff back. You gave us a little.
I know
package
you haven't
of
sent your letter back.
I know. I lost it, and I don't know how I lost it. It got away
You're
from
a
me.
mad scientist.
And
Of course you lost
and
it.
there was one floating around the studio for several days, maybe a week, and that may have been it. But I thought that was like someone else's.
Right, because there's like 4 people in the studio who were part of it. So
Anyway,
5 people.
finally, after it got gone, then I determined that mine was gone, and so I lost it. And I looked, and it was just.
You can send me an email. I'm taking them in email form, so you can just send it to me. I'll MySpace you the information of what you got to send back. Because so what we're going to do is we're going to get what everybody sends us in the letters. We're going to pull out the issues that people continuously kind of pop up. So right now there's going to be one like on Green Asheville, one's going to be on artists, one's going to be on biking transportation and other forms of mass transportation of how to get people around the city since cars are not becoming the easiest way for
I
us
know a
to
lot
live.
of people that got hit trying to ride bikes around.
Trust me, I just got back from
Probably not
Portland.
back
Oh
in-
my
in
God, I'm
Asheville.
so inspired about how we need to redo our transportation and get biking transit available. Because we're a small town, and our hills, while they're hard, will get everybody in shape. We'll have better public health. We'll just be happier people.
Have you seen the transportation up in Minneapolis?
I have been to Minneapolis. Everybody has to walk in like these weird tunnels throughout the city.
Skyways, yeah.
Yeah.
But they actually have bike lanes.
They do, they have, like,
going down the center of
greenways.
the road, and they have the light rail, and for a certain price you can have a bus and rail ticket for $4 or for 4 hours or whatever. So it's like $1.50. You get this ticket. That's good for 4 hours. So you can take a city bus to the light rail, take the light rail someplace, take the light rail back, get on your bus. If you do that all in 4 hours time, there it is. It's $1.50 or whatever.
Asheville's starting we're in the middle of completing our downtown master plan, and then this fall we're starting our transportation master plan. And so the transportation master plan, like, it needs to kind of happen at the same time as the bike plan is starting to be instituted. Like, we have to make sure that, we start really thinking about alternative forms of transportation.
Can I tell you a suggestion
Yeah.
for alternative forms of transportation for the transportation master plan? Steam vehicles.
Steam vehicles?
Steam vehicles, because steam vehicles are not an internal combustion engine; they're an external combustion engine.
Okay.
And that means that they can run off of oil, but they can also run off of sticks that you pick up along the road, or they can run off of anything that can produce enough heat.
You can use the magnolia tree.
Enough heat to make steam. You can even use a big solar collector to make enough heat to make steam.
Don't you have to have some sort of water?
Yeah, it
like,
does.
create
and
the
they're much more. They were never an inferior form of transportation, like back in the days of like Stanley steamers and
Right.
stuff like that. They outlawed them from the racetracks because they won all the races.
Oh, they were too fast.
They were too fast. And the reason that steam is a good way to go for several reasons. One is because it's an efficient way to transfer energy. Is from steam. Steam got us into this mess with the Industrial Revolution.
It's true.
And I'm hoping steam will get us out.
Are you trying to
And-
cut all the funding of the Middle Eastern?
I'm trying to cut all of the funding
what are you
that
trying to do? End terrorism
that
or something?
require.
Yeah, one of these
The trick is to come up with
about 2
something
weeks.
that does not require oil
That's the truth.
to transport
Or any
us.
sort of like, limited fossil fuel. I mean, now
right.
the city started using some natural gas cars, which I have to admit are pretty cool. Like
I agree.
the natural gas costs like something like $2 for a liter of it or something, so it's much cheaper. It gets you like 50 miles to the gallon. It only emits water vapor.
Right.
You don't have a trunk. You don't have a trunk space because that's where your conversion's at.
Put a trailer behind it.
Yeah, you could. Your miles per gallon would go down, that's for sure. But they started selling them an Apple Tree Honda for only like $24,000 for a Honda Civic that's been converted into a natural gas vehicle.
In the Middle East, they just burn off all the natural gas to get to the sludge at the bottom.
Right.
They just burn it off.
Isn't that awesome?
Well,
And my friend has actually shown me something on, I think it was YouTube, where one of these natural gas things in a country called Turkmenistan or something.
Turkmenistan.
It collapsed into the ground,
Oh, yeah.
and it's been on fire for what, hundreds of years or decades? No, decades.
Well, another thing about steam transportation is that the internal combustion engine produces maximum torque at maximum RPMs, and that's why we have to have a transmission to gear it down to get more torque. You see, steam engines produce maximum torque at minimum RPMs.
Oh.
See what I mean? So its torque curve is proper for propulsion, and it doesn't. Transmissions are very lossy in there. I think there's something like 21% efficiency through the transmission, if I'm not mistaken.
See, that's wonderful. There's so many ideas out there as far
Yeah.
as like what great forms of alternate transportation there are compared to gas guzzling, cars and
Right.
automobiles that just, produce carbon
Right.
dioxide and
And
footprints all that
I say
stuff.
if they're going to manipulate the gas prices and stuff, which they're doing, then we should just turn around and go, oh wow, I'm going to run on something that doesn't use your gas. Enjoy your gas.
Right, it's just
and-
coming up with those conversion techniques to make,
We have to
steam
gear
power.
up for. We have to tool up for it.
Yeah, and it's going to come from local communities because if you wait on the national level, we're all going to go to helium.
Well, steam is
Sorry,
the kind of
hydrogen.
steam is a low tech kind of thing that your average man can deal with.
do.
Can deal with steam. It's like plumbing and stuff. And
Speaking
then.
of steam,
Very good.
Well, you see what and there's a whole fashion thing. You're familiar with
Yeah,
steampunk and
Oh, yeah.
all that. See, so I mean,
It's
steam.
coming
That a compressed air car.
I know it.
Have you heard of that one? Mm-hmm. Well, you say
The
so.
French
I
have
don't
one.
know anything about it.
The French have a compressed air car, and it's a great little thing. But the last little thing that I heard about the compressed air car was promising that the compressed air car would run off of compressed air, and then that while it ran, that it would also run a compressor that compressed air. So and they were promising a perpetual motion machine.
No, that doesn't.
And that really turned me off when I heard that. I was so disappointed.
Was that so? It's bunk.
No, that doesn't necessarily make it bunk, the compressed air car, but I don't know, I
You
don't
have
know
to have
how.
a gasoline engine, but I think our best bet is to stick with gasoline, but have cars that get like 100 miles to a gallon. That would solve a lot of problems quick.
right there, right. That's
You
a,
know,
that's
without
a quick
having
fix.
to go to some kind of whole
The only
new
problem
technology.
is like, I don't know. It's like we need a whole paradigm shift of philosophy here in America.
You need to take mine and your car and take it. This is my idea. You take mine and your car, you go down and you trade it in at the junkyard, and then
Park and
they
do that.
give you so much or whatever, and then you get another car that's efficient for $200 a month. It's gasoline, so that's the next step between getting totally off gasoline is to have a car that gets 100 miles to a gallon.
I would
And then
say
we
go-
all get that for $200 a month if we want.
Let's say if we're going to go with, liquid fuels, go to diesel. And as I understand it, Dr. Diesel in Germany created his diesel engine in 1898
To run off vegetable oil.
to run off vegetable oil
Yeah.
after witnessing people in Africa making fire by using some kind of churn-like device with vegetable oil to spread the fires.
the oil.
Yeah, they would
light it,
like kind of. I understand it as kind of like a butter churn kind of thing.
and they would
So-
make fire with that.
Yeah, so he went home to make this diesel engine, and apparently on his way to London for the World Exposition to show off his diesel engine, somebody killed him and threw him off the boat in the English Channel. That's what I heard, if I can remember.
Dick Cheney.
That. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, they've known
That
all
would've
this
been a good
time
place
that the highest grade of vegetable oil on Earth comes from the hemp seed.
Yeah, he
It's
Okay,
true.
well,
and
oh,
so
we're
why
gonna-
aren't we growing that? Why?
Well,
need to-
DuPont's and Dow Chemicals
DuPont,
and
exactly.
yeah,
so
that's
they-
right.
I heard it
GM,
was, what's his name, Randolph
GE.
Hearst.
Well,
It
he
is
had
really
a lot
Randolph
to do with
Hearst,
it.
too.
It was a lot to do with it. He was the one that spread the rumors that the evil
Started the
black jazz
lobbying.
players, and he wasn't using the word black or African American. He was using the N word.
Not Negro.
They could
No.
slip extra notes in
But-
because of their duration of time to
But see,
seduce
yeah,
the women
but-
Yeah,
on the
right,
influence
yeah,
of the
to
They
cannabis.
were
seduce
becoming superior to
Yeah.
us,
But anyway, hemp is also 20-some times stronger than cotton tensile strength, and it also doesn't take chemical fertilizers, pesticides,
It also-
or herbicides
The only
to
bad
grow.
part is it
And all those things are
pollinates the
made
wild
with
stuff.
petroleum.
It puts nutrients back into the
Does it
soil.
matter
too.
which one
It's
of
a
these
good
I push?
No,
turn
it'll
off.
play them all.
So the reason that hemp
That's
isn't
fun. Did you
legal
make
and
this
that the
too?
diesel engine just now is pretending
No,
that.
but it is.
Well, I
on my
remember
show.
seeing
Go
this.
ahead, go ahead, finish.
Well, it's
Sorry.
like they're coming up in recent, like the last decade maybe, where there's biodiesel. Well, no kidding. It's been known for over 100 years. And hemp seed oil is the highest grade oil, and it also takes more carbon dioxide out of the air.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
And
the way to
blah,
go.
blah,
I
blah.
mean,
And my personal theory, for what it's worth, is that not only is global warming having something to do with the atmosphere of all the trash we're burning, all the petroleum products and stuff, but I look at the earth being drained of its oil as like draining the crankcase of your automobile, and then racing on down the freeway, just waiting for the seize up and blow your pistons through your hood. So maybe the reason the
screaming
ice
off
is,
at the
well, maybe
into
the reason the ice caps
oblivion
are
with your
melting,
foot to the
maybe
floor, right?
the earth underneath.
Yeah,
the
that's
melt.
a great image.
Well, maybe the earth is underneath the ice is getting.
Yeah, and we might need that oil for other things like medicine
Yeah.
and plastic bags. And,
Right.
So I think we're it's
I don't know. I don't know.
it's maybe too late.
Again, it's
Yeah.
like, when is the paradigm shift gonna happen? When is America gonna kind of realize, like, okay, we gotta
Well,
Puritan ways, like we gotta upgrade ourselves here.
Right,
We
we
gotta
gotta
start to
take the
think, I
next
think
step.
$6 a gallon oil is going to focus our collective consciousness, because we're animals that likes to stay with the status quo, and it's nobody's. Although that's maybe some people's fault, but
But we just
somehow
like
there
to
has to be a
feel.
motivational thing.
Yeah, we like to feel like we're part of the mob. I mean, we are mob mentality creatures,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Darwinian. We're
Yeah,
Darwinian
yeah.
creatures.
I heard a statistic that said that it would cost about $400 billion to replace the infrastructure of our country with solar power, and
4 billion?
400 billion.
400
That's all
billion?
to
How much
replace
did we
the
put on the
infrastructure.
Iraq War now? Isn't
Almost
that like,
2 trillion
yeah.
probably. So yeah, and that's really the because if you have an electric car and you're plugging into the wall, you're really sucking off natural gas or coal or nuclear power. You're not.
Yeah,
It's not clean
you're not
power.
clean,
It's
no.
in actuality, it could be doing more harm to the environment driving a
Mm-hmm.
1970.
But if you're trying to
fossil
drive,
fuel
still
vehicle.
trying to drive an SUV, we need to get rid of all these old pieces of junk riding down.
Stuart Coleman, by the way, drives a great big black SUV. You'll see it. It's a great big black Escalade.
Who?
Stuart Coleman, the man who's building the Parkside building. He almost hit one of the activists on her bike the other day. He came around the corner
Yeah,
real
if you come
fast.
down through there drunk, hit the magnolia tree.
I swear, coming here from
What
Nashville
are
on my
the Space
bicycle.
Invaders? Do you have a Space Invader
I
noise?
do, Space Invader.
Do you have
yes.
a noise for us? A Space Invader noise?
The noises that I've been playing are actually, I did a live performance in Atlanta last weekend at a venue called iDrum, and it was an 8-bit event, and so I sampled a bunch of early 80s video games, and that's kind of, I don't have Space Invaders, but I have Galaga, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong.
Donkey
Here's a
Kong.
pole
Yeah.
position noise right here.
Yeah, how about that? Can you just put it in and it just makes noises all through the thing and just keeps on making?
I can
these
do some
odd-
of that. I can
odd,
do
totally
some of that.
asynchronic noises.
Here's a fun one. This is
You're a bit of a mad scientist too, aren't you?
let's
he brought
see
show and tell.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Show and
the
tell parties.
little Pac-Man.
You
So
should
you
have
guys
brought a
can't hear it,
big,
but the people at home can hear this.
Blossom
Off the magnolia tree.
off a magnolia tree.
Yeah.
Because you know what that would do to this room.
The laurels blooming. I thought about that. That would have been beautiful. When we have blossoms here, it always makes it so much nicer.
Oh, I know.
Did you hear a little tidbit there?
Huh?
No, he can't hear it.
Oh yeah, but did you? The folks at
How
home
is
will hear
it?
it.
How is it, John?
It's nice. Would you like to listen?
Yeah.
You
This is
listen.
another
play
little sample
guitar?
from
I
us.
wish I could. I wish I could
Can
play the
somebody
guitar.
sing and play guitar?
I think. Do you play guitar?
I play harmonicas.
I play the jaw harp. We could have a band going on here.
Yeah, well, I play
Little
harmonicas and
tidbits from
sing
the
songs there,
80s.
right?
Play some more.
Play some
Just
more.
leave it going. Can you
I
turn the
write
volume
silly
down just a
songs.
little bit?
Kind of.
Well, we do. I'll
Yes, I
put the
can.
call out there. We do need
How's that?
musicians
Well,
for
I'll turn it
Tuesday
down.
for the Parkside rally. We're looking for anybody who wants to come
What
pick.
time?
anytime between 4:30 and 6:30. Just come on by.
Tuesday.
Where is
Tuesday,
it?
and in front of City Hall.
In the square?
It seems like everybody. Is it like? Would you think it would be a good idea to mark that on your calendar
Yeah,
if you
please
plan to
do.
go, so
Well,
that you
I
don't
mean,
forget?
Yeah.
Y'all need to do an open call to like djembe players. Get like 40 djembe players out there. I think you'll be heard. I think if you do that.
That would be cool. A circle, a drum circle.
Was that guy
drum
talking?
circle?
I heard his voice.
Who is that guy?
Yeah, a drum circle would be good.
We're originally we went with like Appalachian music was our thought, because the shindig on the green would cease to exist were this to go up.
Right.
So we were like, that would be nice.
Shindig on the green is no longer at Star.
It wouldn't be on the green anymore if the green
It'd
was
be Shindig on the condo.
Is the
Yeah, Shindig on the condo.
on the condo.
is the
porch.
shindig happening this year?
It is, but it's in the MLK Park, so it's like not really, because that's where they're having to move it while they're redoing the Pack Square. I don't know if you've been down
What
there.
was
lately,
wrong
but,
with the Pack Square the way it was?
I don't know. It's been like 3 years of them putting thousands and thousands of dollars into
I
this
really
thing.
liked it the way it was.
Yeah, the fountain that used to be there, that
I'm
was nice.
upset about the fountain.
I'm upset about the fountain too. They've had this picture up there for literally 3 years. Every time you walk by, like that's what it's supposed to look like. But unfortunately, it's just
Just a
bunch
big
of
construction.
yeah, it's been construction
Ugly.
site for 3 years. Like that's nice. That's really gonna bring in the
I think
tourists.
it's probably just to keep the people out.
Yeah, maybe.
Ladies
Well-
in black or something.
Yeah,
A woman in black.
I got that definite impression. They didn't start doing that till people started protesting, and then all of a sudden they turned it into
Construction
a
city.
construction zone. So nobody first they blocked it off, and then they turned it into a construction zone.
Well, the Pack conservation folk are the ones I think who are spearheading all that and who are trying to like revitalize the park. They feel like not enough people go down to the park, and so I mean,
Do you know
it's
why?
Not enough for
Nobody
right
wants
people.
to go down.
Which
who can,
park?
who can enjoy
City County
themselves?
Plaza.
Who can enjoy themselves in a park
The
when
bulldozer.
when all the cameras up in the courthouse and City Hall are all focused in on you, watching you? Feels like Big Brother looming over your shoulder.
Personally, from personal experience of coming and going through Asheville, I noticed that they would close that section of downtown off at 10 p.m. I couldn't sit there legally at 10 p.m., but the tourists walking,
Can.
coming and going. But
well, they got money. They're
if
spending
you're sitting
money.
there with a backpack, it's a crime to actually sit in the middle of downtown at 10 o'clock, which is just ludicrous.
Yes.
Is that true?
Is it ludicrous? I think it's so. I haven't been around for a while. I stopped by about 2.5 years ago, and before that, I hadn't been here since 1999 because I got arrested. Well, I got arrested for the garden in '98, but then I got arrested coming back in '99. So I was at a performance of the Surreal Circus, and they did this fabulous play down in some art complex. And after they were done with the performance, I mean, it had me in tears. It was so beautiful. But then some kid was spinning records or whatever, and people milling about. And I went outside to have a cigarette, and all of a sudden there's 16, 20 cops with a paddy wagon and a dog. And they start surrounding me and these 6 or 7 other kids in the parking lot, and they were smoking cigarettes because, we were outside smoking because it wasn't allowed inside. So they surrounded us, and they started floating into this building. And I started talking to these people there and saying, well, we're free American citizens. We have the right to congregate and speak our minds and, observe this art performance, blah, blah, blah. This is our constitutionally guaranteed right to free Americans in a free America to do this. And the cops are telling me, you got to shut up. You got to leave. We're going to arrest you for trespassing. I said, well, I'm not trespassing. I've been invited here by American artists to witness their performance. You're the ones here without a warrant. You're not here legally. And I started whipping about Constitution, habeas corpus, all this other crap.
Yeah, they love that.
And, so this went back and forth 5-10 minutes. And they finally says to me, you better leave right now or we're, going to arrest you. And I said, okay, whatever, fine, Sig Heil. And I turned my back and started walking away and got about 2.5 steps before I was tackled by 6 of them and arrested for disorderly conduct and taken to jail. I was the only one arrested there. They didn't find, they had I don't know what they were raiding, the mafia or what the hell, but they had, 16 to 20 cops there for a simple performance of artists.
I know. I remember
Yeah.
that night. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Snakehawk was there that night in a lovely bathrobe and lingerie routine. Was he? What is that?
I had, it was a beautiful, lovely night, and with all those cops there. But I think that was during the time when Clinton had to help fight the drug war. he had given all more money to people to have more police, so Asheville suddenly ended up with 30 more cops than they could ever possibly use, or however many.
I thought Clinton was going after like Colombian drugs.
No, he put cops on the street.
Oh yeah, he
and-
closed down. He's the one during his administration at least is when the government went into California and shut down all. Tried to shut down all the San Francisco
Medical
medical shops, medical cannabis shops. Interestingly enough, there hasn't even during the Bush administration they haven't even done such a large thing because they've been so busy
They've
in
been
Iraq.
raiding the shops all the time, though.
There's
all the medical
400 in
Yeah.
California right now.
Ashcroft was
400
out there as
that
soon
are
as he got in,
open.
man.
Yeah, I mean, I have,
That's what I-
Yeah, a bunch of
there's
fascists,
a
man.
bunch of folk down in LA who've been busted over
Oh
and
yeah,
over
but
and
the
over again.
interesting thing is that the LA Police Department and the LA Mayor support the legality of the stores because they've been legally established.
state, right.
And the federal government came in and they went above and beyond the police force, and there was this
Right.
big show of testosterone between the different factions, the federal government and the local policing force. And I actually saw this historical show that was talking about Nixon, and Nixon used the drug war because the drug problem and the situation was the only thing that they could use to gain federal control. There was no other agency that they could use to have a federal power, and so they used the DEA to exhibit governmental control over every single state.
No, that's
like autism.
Not
fascist.
necessarily, but
Wait
you
till
just
you
don't.
hear that.
You just balance it there. You don't actually like.
Oh,
Women
yeah.
and children burning down.
Art to that.
Yeah,
Well, that's a-
they say David Koresh molested the children, so they decided they should burn them all, apparently.
Yeah,
was living
the
in
children
Texas
are being
when that happened.
abused,
That
so
was-
let's blow them up.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too politically correct to me.
Janet Reno's still burning for that one. She's gonna burn.
That's what I
for a long
said.
time.
Janet Reno says she's the cause, she's the blame.
You gonna sing a song?
Died now, ain't that a shame?
Ain't that a shame?
Rich just for the rich and the poor ain't the same. She did not lose nothing, not even her good name. Siege at Waco, women and children burning down. Well, I looked around.
Hey, come on
God's
in. Come on, get a chair.
nowhere to
Go
be
get a chair in
found.
the big studio.
I'll sing that if I come Tuesday night.
Please do.
Okay, real quick. Okay, the guy who was telling about the tree is going to be in here with his chair. Okay, now, real quick, just for me, will you do my favorite song? We're going to hang
We'll do
Donald Rumsfeld from the Sour Apple Tree when the revolution comes.
Martha showed me that clip today.
Let's see, I guess I have to sing a chorus first. We gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld from Sour Apple Tree. Gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld just to watch him swinging free. Gonna hang him high, gonna hang him low.
Come on in, the chair's for you.
Gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld from the Sour Apple Tree when the revolution comes. Gonna march up to Washington, we're gonna walk right in the front door. And we're gonna say, Mr. President, this stuff don't get it no more. Gonna take you and Donald Rumsfeld and the Vice President too. Gonna take you all down to the National Mall. This is what we're gonna do. Gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld from the Sour Apple Tree. Gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld just to watch him swinging free. We're going to hang him high, we're gonna hang him low. Dead, we're gonna hang some more. We're gonna hang from Sour Apple Tree when the revolution comes. Well, I'm tired of all this suffering. I'm tired of pain and woe. I'm tired of your pasty white faces and that mean old black girl. I'm tired of hearing about torture and extraordinary rendition. I'm gonna send you back to the farm where you can't do no harm. But there's one condition. We're gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld from Sour Apple Tree. We're gonna hang Donald Rumsfeld just to watch him swinging free. We're gonna hang him high, we're gonna hang him low.
And if he don't die, we're gonna hang him some more.
We're gonna hang from Sour Apple Tree when the revolution. I really mean it. When the revolution comes.
do that one, the verse about I don't believe in
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember that verse.
yeah, don't believe in corporal. What is it?
I don't believe in corporal punishment.
Something, but there's one exception.
Something,
Yeah.
but I will make
Hey
one
there,
exception.
Richard, this is Richard.
Hey,
Hey, what is your name?
I'm Jen.
Jen, Richard.
And Jen is telling us about the tree.
Yeah, I was listening at home.
And did you hear me call you out on the home? I
Well,
said,
I'd already hit the road by that time.
okay.
I got
he got mad before
Well,
that.
no, I didn't get mad. I'm
Just a
bone
cookie.
puzzled. I'm not. I'm bone puzzled at what you said that the police chief of Asheville said to you.
About what Bill
Now, I
said?
want you to be clear on this.
Tell him that was a joke.
Was it a joke?
It was a joke. I mean, I wasn't there. I was not there firsthand, so I can